Let's pray. Almighty God, we in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and as legislative assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people. We beseech you to behold with your abundant favor us, your servants, whom you've been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider our matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interest you have committed to our charge. Amen. Next order.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Good morning, honorable members. I wish to take this opportunity to welcome you back from the just concluded recess. I hope you were able to undertake various committee activities and interact with the electorates. I have the following communication to make. A, access to information and embracing technology. Honorable members, Article 5(1) of the Constitution provides that the right of access to A, information held by the state, and B, information held by another person, and it is required for the exercise or protection of any right or fundamental freedom. In addition, Article 35(3) of the same Constitution provides that the state shall publish and publicize any important information affecting the nation. Further, Article 196(1)(a) of the Constitution provides that a county assembly shall conduct its business in an open manner and hold its sittings and those of its committees in public. In furtherance of these provisions of law, the County Assembly has embraced information communication technology, ICT, and has been uploading all assembly papers, that is order papers, motions, statements, bills, reports, and Hansard, and tenders in the assembly website for your own access and that of the public. Further to this, the assembly has procured a tablet for each honorable member to be used to access the assembly documents that have been posted in the website, as well as all other materials that which will make you as a legislator more effective. The assembly also wishes to go green and mitigate the effects of climate change by reducing on printing, which will also reduce consumption of papers, toners, and electricity. Therefore, it is envisaged that the tablets will be used to access assembly order papers, reports, minutes, and documents during plenary and committee sittings. Honorable members, I wish to inform you that hard copies will not be available starting next week, that is on 31st July 2023. You are advised to visit the ICT desk set up at the reception of the new office block for configuration of your tablet and updating of your corporate email. Another communication is on County Assembly Sports Association CASA Games. Honorable members, you recall that on 6 June 2023, I communicated that the County Assembly Sports Association CASA had commenced preparations for the 4th edition of CASA Games, whose theme is inculcate the integration and social interactions through sports and diverse cultures, scheduled for August 2023 in Nakuru County. I did request you to register for the games that you will take part in, and indicated that the exact dates will be communicated later. In addition, you are requested to be available for training sessions for the games on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays from 4 p.m. Further to this communication, I wish to communicate that the said CASA Games will take place in Nakuru County from 19th to 27th of August 2023. I also wish to inform you the days for practice have been increased from 3 to 4, and thus you are asked to be available for training sessions from Monday to Thursday from 3:30 p.m. Communication number C, demise of Mr. Felix Gitari Biuki. Honorable members, it is with deep sense of loss and sorrow for the County Assembly fraternity to announce the untimely demise of the inaugural and emeritus clerk of County Assembly of Machakos, Mr. Felix Gitari Biuki. Mr. Biuki served as the clerk of the defunct County Council of Masaku, among other county councils, before being appointed by the Transition Authority and confirmed by the County Assembly Service Board as the clerk of the County Assembly of Machakos in 2013. He worked for the Assembly until 9th February 2022, when he took an early retirement to venture into active politics in the gubernatorial race in Tharaka Nithi County. Mr. Biuki leaves behind a legacy of excellence that will continue to inspire many in their work and dedication to serving the people of Machakos County. The burial of Mr. Biuki is slated on 1st of August 2023 in Tharaka Nithi County. I wish to convey my heartfelt condolences on behalf of the County Assembly to the family, friends, and the County Assembly fraternity. Fare thee well, Mr. Biuki. Thank you, honorable members. Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
May I invite Honorable Stephen Mwandi to proceed and lay a paper, after which Honorable Philip Ndolo will also lay another paper.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Stephen Mwante, representing Ekalakala, Ekatini Ward. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Assembly today, Tuesday, 25th July 2023. The 4th report of the Committee on Appointments of the 3rd Assembly on the vetting of nominee for appointment to the position of County Executive Committee member for Gender, Youth, Sports, and Social Welfare. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Philip Ndolo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I take brief for Honorable Philip Ndolo, who is the chairperson of Public Accounts and Investment Committee. Honorable Speaker, I wish to lay the following paper on the floor of the House today, Tuesday, 25th of July, 2023. The report of the Auditor General of Machakos County Assembly, Carlon Scheme Fund, for the year ended 30th of June, 2019. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Douglas. Thank you. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
May I invite Honorable Stephen Mwandhi and to give a notice of motion, as well as Honorable Douglas Musyoka also to give another notice of motion.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, that aware that Article 179, Sub-Article 2B of the Constitution, as read with Section 30, Subsection 2D of the County Governments Act, provides that the Governor shall appoint the County Executive Committee members with approval of the Assembly from among persons who are not members of the Assembly. Aware that Standing Order 184, Sub-Order 4 of the County Assembly of Machakos Standing Orders provides that the Committee on Appointments shall consider for approval by the Assembly appointments of the members of County Executive Committee. Aware that the Governor forwarded a nominee for approval for appointment as the County Executive Committee member for Gender, Youth, Sports and Social Welfare after the previous holder of the office resigned. Honorable Speaker, I wish to give a notice of the motion that, taking into consideration the findings of the Committee on Appointments in its fourth report on the vetting of nominee for approval as the County Executive Committee member, laid on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 25th July 2023, and pursuant to Article 179, Sub-Article 2B of the Constitution, Section 30, Subsection 2D of the County Governments Act, Sections 4 and 9 of the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approval Act 2017 and Standing Order 184, Sub-Order 4. This House approves the appointment of Mr. John Mwangangi Kilonzo as County Executive Committee member for the Department of Gender, Youth, Sports and Social Welfare. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Douglas Musyoka.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, that aware that Article 229, Subsection 5 of the Constitution provides that the Auditor General may audit and report on the accounts of any entity that is funded from public funds. Further aware that Article 229, Subsection 7 of the Constitution that states that audit reports shall be submitted to the Parliament or the relevant County Assembly. Cognizant that the report of Auditor General on Machakos County Assembly Carlon Scheme Fund for the year ended 30th of June 2019 was received in the Assembly on February 2022. Further, aware that the report was committed to the Committee of Public Accounts and Investment pursuant to Standing Order number 185 subsection 2B and C, states that the Public Accounts and Investments Committee shall be responsible for examination of reports, accounts and workings of the county public investments and whether the affairs of the public investments are being managed in accordance with the sound financial or business principles and prudent commercial practices. Aware that the committee, after receipt of the report, conducted several meetings with the accounting officer of the fund, together with officers from the Office of the Auditor General, and subsequently compiled a report. Honorable Speaker, I wish to give notice of motion that this House discusses and approves the report of Auditor General on Machakos County Assembly Carlon Scheme Fund for the year ended 30th of June 2019. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
May I invite Honorable Nicholas Nzioka, Honorable Dominic Maitha, Honorable Judas Ndawa, to proceed and make their statements. I'm not saying that for the first time. Can we have the concerned people to actually sanitize these mics instantly?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Judas Milindawa, the area member of Matu. Honorable Speaker, I'll start by taking this opportunity to also register my condolences to the family of late Buki, who happened to be our first clerk in this assembly. Honorable Speaker, again, before I give the statement, I was of the opinion that it would be only fair if you direct the assembly to at least observe a moment of silence in honor of the departed soul. But that one is according to your discretion. Again, Honorable Speaker, I was also feeling that it would only be fair if the office of the clerk can also provide a condolence book for members to register their condolences. And if possible, we have 2 or 3 candles lit there, plus the photograph of that late Clerk Buki. I now go back to the business that I was raising to present. Honorable Speaker, the first statement is supposed to be brought by Honorable Nicholas Yoka, who is the majority leader, and since I'm the minority leader, and I'm also a member of the House Business Committee, I feel I'm the most appropriate person to read the statement. Honorable Speaker, the House Business Committee met on Monday, 24th July 2023 to prioritize business for the House as forwarded by the committees and honorable members pursuant to provisions of Standing Order number 151, Suborder 6D. The committee balloted business as follows. 1. Tuesday morning, that is 25th July 2023 at 10 a.m. A. Statement on safety of workers at Golden Africa Company. That is going to be prosecuted by Honorable Dominic Maida, the MCA from Modwani Ward. B. Statement on human-wildlife conflict in Matu Ward. That is going to be prosecuted by myself. C. The Machakos County Spatial Planning Bill of 2023, first reading. D. The Machakos County Fire and Rescue Services Bill 2023, first reading. E. Report on vetting of nominee for appointment to the position of County Executive Member for Gender, Youth, Sports and Special Welfare. And that is going to be prosecuted by our Deputy Speaker, who is Honorable Stephen Mwande, and is also the Vice Chair, Committee on Appointment. Tuesday afternoon, that is today in the afternoon, 25th July 2023 at 2:30 p.m. Report of the Auditor General on Machakos County Assembly Car Loan Scheme Fund for the year ended 30th June 2019. That is going to be prosecuted by Honorable Philip Dolo, the Chairperson, Park. B. Motion on tree planting by our special elect member, Honorable Catherine Che, Then C, and that is the last item, is going to be an adjournment motion, adjournment of the House and alternation of the calendar by the majority leader, who is Honorable Nicholas Zioka. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Before we proceed to have other members make their statements, I wish to make following observations that have been made also by the leader of minority, and I direct as follows: that in honor of the departed former clerk Felix Gitari Biuki, we observe, as an assembly, observe 1 minute of silence in his honor. Number 2, a book of condolences be opened with a photo of the departed clerk Felix Gitari Biuki attached to it, so that we can write our tributes there and in his honor. So that is my direction. Can we have that 1 minute of silence? Thank you, honorable members. Let's proceed with our proceedings. Honorable Dominic Maitha, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to take this opportunity to welcome back the honorable fellow members in this assembly and to your presence, Madam Speaker, after almost a 1-month recess that we went to rest, and we are back healthy. We thank God, the Almighty God, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. And if you will allow me just a second, some few seconds, Madam Speaker, I just want to pass my deepest condolences to the family of the late clerk, Mheshimiwa Mbiuki. This caught us in surprise, and it never augured well with us. For those of us who have dealt with him, who worked with him, especially in the first assembly. Madam Speaker, when we came into this first assembly in 2013, we were very new. We were very green in devolution. We never understood anything in terms of devolution. And I can honestly say, Madam Speaker, deep from my heart, the late Felix Mbiuki Gitari, who was the first clerk of this assembly, has made this assembly to be the way it is today. The changes, the transition, the face of this assembly to be wherever the way it is, it all came out of his contribution, out of the experience that he had in the public service. So without much ado, Madam Speaker, we have really lost a great fella. We've lost a great leader. Under the circumstances under which he lost his life, we can only leave it to God. And the perpetrators shall face the wrath of God. It's unfortunate, it's untimely, but all we can say is just to wish his family well, to wish his soul to rest in peace, and it's my hope that this assembly will continue to remember the good deeds that the honorable member, the first clerk of this assembly, that he did to this assembly. It is attestable. We learned a lot from him to be what we are today. May his soul rest in peace. Thank you. Honorable Speaker, Article 41, Article 2B of the Constitution of Kenya provides that every worker has the right to reasonable working conditions. Section 13, subsection 1A of the Occupational Safety and Health Act of 2007 provides that every employee shall, while at the place of work, ensure its own safety and health, that of other persons who may be affected by its act or omissions at the workplace. Further, Section 13, Article 1C states that every employee shall, while at the workplace, at all times wear or use any protective equipment or clothing provided by the employer for the purpose of preventing risks to his safety and health. Section 6, Sub-Article 1 of the Occupational Safety and Health Act of 2007 states that every occupier shall ensure the safety, health, and welfare of all work and welfare at work of all persons working in his workplace. Noting that the company did not provide the officers with needed, noting that the company did not provide the officers with needed equipment and failed to adhere to the requirements that such should be open at least 24 hours before anyone is allowed in. Honorable Speaker, Madam Speaker, I beg to go back. Honorable Speaker, on 23rd December 2022, 3 workers of Golden Africa Kenya Limited in Machakos sub-county died while cleaning the plant's septic tank, which aired a sludge. Noting that the company did not provide the officers with the needed equipment and failed to adhere to the requirements, that the site should be opened at least 24 hours before anyone is allowed in. Honorable Speaker, I wish to seek a statement on what the county government of Machakos has done to ensure adherence of safety requirements of employees while in the said factory. Madam Speaker, it is sad that we are experiencing serious inhumane activities in most of the institutions, in factories and established institutions in this country. Madam Speaker, the matter at hand is quite disgusting, facing the circumstances under which these fellow Kenyans lost their lives. Recently, Madam Speaker, we visited, the Committee on Environment visited one factory in the river and found that the working conditions of the employees there was terribly bad. And that is what has necessitated this statement to be sought, Madam Speaker. So I want to seek this statement so that we can protect the lives of our people. Our people are dying, Madam Speaker. Our people are working under very tough conditions in some of the factories, especially in Mavoko and its surroundings. And when they try even to attempt to seek audience, they are threatened to lose their jobs. So, Madam Speaker, the workers who are working in these companies emanate from all the 4 wards in Mavoko sub-county, namely Mudwani Ward, Kinani Ward, the River Township Ward, and Mavoko and Mulolongo Ward. And we have received complaints, Madam Speaker, on behalf of these employees. They are complaining seriously. So that's why I want to seek this statement to know what is the county government of Machakos supposed to doing so that it can continue protecting the lives of these employees whose their lives are at risk, and even the lives of other employees who might have raised their concerns within Mavoko sub-county and even in Machakos County in general, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. I wish to reiterate your sentiments and say that the safety of workers everywhere in this county is very key to us, and in that regard, I'd request the Committee on Labor, Public Service and ICT to investigate that matter seriously and bring a report here on or before 15th of August 2023. So therefore, I am committing that statement to Labor, Public Service and ICT Committee to report on or before 15th August 2023. Thank you, honorable members. Honorable Judas Ndawa.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I will start by applauding you for responding very fast. In fact, up to now, where we are, we have every reason that we have every reason to say that we have a competent and a caring Speaker.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa.
Honorable Speaker, again, before I proceed, on the same note, I would request, Honorable Speaker, on the issue of the late Mbuki, I would request that the Assembly also appoints a team to go and stand with the family on behalf of this assembly. It is very unfair if the assembly is not represented, or if the assembly is not taking part in the burial preparation. So I'm very sure you have plans to ensure that the assembly is represented. And again, I'm making an application that because we are going to have another motion to me later in the afternoon, you also allow members of this county assembly to travel on Monday to Meru so that they can be able to attend that burial. And you also allow them, because I'm very sure I've attended burials in Meru, the burials end very late. You allow them to spend there so that the following morning they can have time to sit with the family members and give their messages of condolences. Honorable Speaker, I go back to the business which has brought me here. Honorable Speaker, that aware that Section 24 of the Wildlife Conservation and Management Act of 2013 said that the wildlife compensation scheme shall be used for financing compensation, claims for human death or injury or crop and property damages caused by wildlife. Honorable Speaker, further aware that Section 25 subsection 4 of the Wildlife Conservation and Management Act of 2013 state that any person who suffers loss or damage to crop, livestock or other property from wildlife specified in the 7th schedule hereof and subject to the rules made by the Cabinet Secretary may submit a claim to the County Wildlife Conservation and Compensation Committee established under Section 18, who shall verify the claim and make recommendation as appropriate and submit it to the service for the due consideration. Honorable Speaker, cognizant that human wildlife conflict in Machakos County and in particular Bingoni Village, Katulani sublocation, Ngengi and Ketambazi in Matu Ward is a pressing and complex issue that stems from the coexistence of the local communities and diverse wildlife species in the region. The wildlife from B2 ranching has continued to destroy crops on the nearby farms, and the response from the nearest Kenya wildlife offices in Ondonyezabuk is not prompt. Honorable Speaker, I wish to seek a statement on the following from the Chairperson Devolution Committee. 1. The initiative Kenya Wildlife Services is doing to ensure that the wildlife in the nearby ranch is contained to avert destruction of property. 2. Whether Kenya Wildlife Services has established a fair and prompt compensation or insurance mechanism for communities affected by wildlife attacks or property damage and alleviate economic hardship through the County Wildlife Conservation and Compensation Committee established under Section 18 of the Wildlife Conservation and Management Act of 2013. Number 3, why Kenya Wildlife Services has not established wildlife corridors and fencing for animals, migration, and strategically placed fences to help reduce human wildlife encounters in the conflict areas. Honorable Speaker, after seeking such statement, the reasons why I brought this statement here, Honorable Speaker, you know everybody is now crying that the prices of food are very high. And that is evident, everybody can confirm that. Honorable Speaker, my farmers and my residents of Matu Ward are very active and very serious farmers. When the rain comes, they just go to the shambas and ensure that they do what is required of them to ensure that they address the issue of food security. Having done that, Honorable Speaker, when the crops were almost ready for harvest, this problem came up. I, as the area member of County Assembly, have done efforts, or have already intervened. I've called the Oldonyo Zambuk office to come and see what is happening. And the only challenge, Honorable Speaker, that we are getting, the animals come at night. Once you call, the officers will be sent from that office, will come as from 10 a.m. when the animals have already gone back to their areas. So those who come do not understand well whether what we are telling them is truth. Honorable Speaker, we need to be guided, and I need to be guided, because I'm very sure the supreme law is always guided by the customary law. In a Kamba customary law, if somebody's cows come to your shamba and you chase them away, and when you ask that particular person, or when you tell that particular person that his or our animals have destroyed their food, sometimes they say, no, this is not ours. And what happens in our Kamba customary law, when the animals come for the second time, you lock them in your compound, so that the owner can come and identify whether the animals belongs to him or to her. So, Honorable Speaker, I fail to understand now what route are we going to follow to ensure that once this animal comes again to our farmers or to our farms, we detain them, we detain the animals, and maybe call that office when we already have those animals. One day they sent the officers to come, and when they came, they just told us they are going to chase them up to the farthest end of the ranch. And the moment they chased them and went, the animals followed them. The following night, they are on our shambas. Honorable Speaker, my concern is this: is the Wildlife Services, the Wildlife Department ready to feed Matu residents who have suffered from this? Again, if you look at the zebras which are there, Honorable Speaker, they are even chasing, instead of the people chasing the animals, the zebras are chasing the farmers. And if we don't take action, Honorable Speaker, we may end up losing lives. We may end up getting our people injured. So as we talk, Honorable Speaker, my farmers have suffered what we call injuria sintamnam. They have already suffered that. And we need to be given what we call special and general damages for that loss. Honorable Speaker, this is not a simple matter, and I would request, because I'm very sure what is happening in Matu, it may be also happening in other areas of Machakos County. I would request that you allow at least 2 or 3 members to also ventilate and share experience. Maybe what is happening here in Matu, another person has the same problem. So that instead of having another statement similar to this, we can consolidate and handle the matter altogether. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I want to invite other members, because I think this matter of destruction and human-wildlife conflict is common in the entire of the Machakos County. I'm sure in Mavoko we are experiencing that. So can I invite Honorable Alphonse to comment?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Alphonse Mutinda, representing the great people of Kiva Ward. I've raised to applaud the words which has been spoken by Honorable Member of Matu. Not later than 2 weeks, I had the same problem in my ward. Kiva Ward is the farthest ward out of the 40 wards of Machakos County. And I border Embu County, Kitui County, and Machakos County. We have game reserve, known Mwea Wildlife Service, which I border with it. And confirmed that one elephant, they crossed in my ward, and they indeed and a lot of damage. About 50 families, their crops were totally damaged by the elephant. So I want that matter to be taken seriously, because those farmers or families, they really need to be compensated. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable Mwaki.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I raise to support exactly what has been put forward. And if you look at it, I saw my hand was up. Mheshimiwa Alphonse's hand was up. Mheshimiwa DS's hand was up. If Mheshimiwa Mwonga was here, his hand, I'm sure, would be up. And Mheshimiwa Pasi, his hand would be up. You can see I'm driving on something. This is Masinga. Masinga we border Mwea on one side, and our common boundary is the Masinga water reservoirs, which are full of animals, particularly the hippos. Not once, not twice, in my area, have they killed people. And whenever I've tried to follow it up, I end up on a dead end. What I'm trying to say is the statement being sought by Honorable Ndawa of Matu about animals invading our farms. Yes, it is right. We need to get to the bottom of all this. We are losing people's lives because of those animals. That water of Masinga Reservoir, it has hippos and crocodiles. Those two particular animals, I do remember one time I was doing my campaigns. Instead of going to address the people who are waiting for me, I found a young man who had been, I don't know, attacked by the, what do you call it, the crocodile. I had to take him to the hospital. And remember our place in terms of a transport system, the way they are. I had, first of all, to stop that, take the young man to Thika hospital so that he can be attended. So I'm raising to support exactly what has been sought so that we can finalize on it once and for all. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Mbuva, after which Honorable DS and Honorable Monyao.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Charles Mbuva, the member for Kangundo West Ward. I would wish as well to add my voice on this very serious matter. First of all, the aspect of human life. Wildlife is not only dangerous to crops in the field, but also dangerous to human life. Madam Speaker, we may need some radical shift. The area of keeping wildlife, the large, vast, huge lands which were lying idle, where wildlife would be grazing and moving around freely, is diminishing. The human population is increasing. Areas which were open fields are now coming under cultivation. But the same mechanisms of conservation have not been improving just as times are moving. It is now dangerous to keep wildlife in open fields which are not even fenced. And Madam Speaker, something else is also coming to my mind. Wildlife, the agency that manages wildlife is a national institution. The proceeds generated from that wildlife sector do not even end up into our county coffers. They are proceeds of national revenue. We would first of all begin to think, first of all, how much we as county, what do we generate from those wildlife conservation centers, the Odonyo Sabuk, and any other conservation area which is affecting our people, because there should be some form of gratuity. There should be some form of earnings for the county of Machakos. Maybe that could cushion our people whenever they suffer losses. Together with that, Mheshimiwa Ndawa, I want also to give you a piece of advice. Please do not invoke that customary law of keeping animals to wait for the owner. If some of them could be buffaloes, Madam Speaker, let me offer some advice to my brother, not to attempt to capture the elephants and the buffaloes to wait for the owner. A more serious problem may arise. There may arise a more serious problem than the food crops. That notwithstanding, Madam Speaker, the places where this wildlife is conflicting with the farmers and the members of the public, we would want to know what partnership, what policy, do we have any policy? Because as I have said, the agencies which manage the conservation areas are national government entities. Does there exist any policy on the relationship of the county government of Machakos and the conservation agencies, the Kenya Wildlife Services? In the absence of such a policy, those people will be hiding behind a curtain. There must be a framework of how we relate, or they transfer their animals. And Madam Speaker, I am not apologetic. Sometimes human beings, we are very strange. We are given by God the superior mind, and we make laws to regulate even the existence of other beings. But we sometimes make laws to our detriment. How can we make a law that says the elephant is more important than the human being? Today, if you kill a buffalo while it is destroying your farm, you have a case to answer. But if the buffalo, because it has no good brains, if it kills you, your family has no remedy, or if there is a remedy, it is going to be full of shenanigans. Madam Speaker, it is time now we start making laws, also taking in, and as much as we need the wildlife, we need the tourists, we need the earnings, let us protect human beings and property. Let us make, and I can clap for myself on that part, let us make laws which preserve property and human beings, just as we preserve the wildlife. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. In fact, on the issue of compensation, when the laws available for compensation of injuries arising from conflict with the animals, those wildlife animals, they're very, very bureaucratic. You will never get compensated. I mean, it is a process full of handles and handles and handles. You really have, so we have a lot to do, and this area is very grave, members of this assembly. Please, let's take it very seriously. Invite DS to comment, after which Mr. Munyao, Honorable Munyao, sorry. Has it been sanitized? Did the sanitization take place?
To use it.
It can be sanitized against you also.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Honorable Stephen Mwande, representing Ekalakala Katini Ward. Madam Speaker, as I grew up, I used to see these wildlife soldiers moving around their game reserves. Like, for example, in my ward, that borders his ward, Honorable Dawa's ward, there is that game reserve in his area. I also border the Masinga Dam, whereby we have so many hippos and crocodiles in there, but mostly we get problems with the hippos. Madam Speaker, farmers from that region depend so much on the Masinga Dam water, maybe to irrigate their farms, and so I believe it's an area that even has been supporting the county and residents across with the produce that we get from there. But this issue of wildlife, the hippos, have been a nuisance to the farmers. Madam Speaker, as I speak now, it's only this week when an hippo attacked one of my residents. As we speak now, we are waiting to bury that person. In fact, we've not yet confirmed the date, though luckily it killed the person and it was also killed by residents. Narabondawa, you may come and I tell you, I'll show you what we'll be doing if the farmer doesn't take care of his animals. There is a way that we can be also getting them and waiting for the farmer, just as he has said, because it has been rampant all across. And getting those, even when you call those guys from Donu Sambuk, from Donu to Kalakala, it's more than 70 kilometers, Madam Speaker. So when you call them, they might take even 2 days. The animals were there at night, and so if you call them, they'll come the following day, very, very late. And maybe if it was something, they were attacking a person, that person will have been, will be dead. Or maybe if it is that issue of the animals coming into our farms. It has been a big problem to our people, and so we support that. As we seek the information, it is also good they come up with a good structure that will help our people make sure they are also moving around just as they used to do before, because they used to move around the game reserves, at least monitoring the whereabouts of those animals. So thank you, Madam Speaker, and I do support that statement. I'll be looking forward to getting good responses so that we may take care of our farm produce and our people. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, DS. Honorable Joanna.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also rise to support the statement presented before this House by Honorable Dawa, the Minority Leader. Madam Speaker, I want also to inform this House that about a month or so ago in my area, we also buried a victim of the same, where a father was attacked, and that family, as we speak, is short of the breadwinner. So, Madam Speaker, I think we should agree that if the government is not able to protect its people, then it is the high time we mobilized our people and protected ourselves. I know the Act on Animal Protection, the Section 30, Part 2, I just want to quote that it says, where a protected animal or game animal is killed in immediate defense, because we are only allowed to kill an animal when we are defending ourselves, and I wonder whether when you are attacked and you are alone, you may have no time to defend yourself. When we kill it after it has already killed one of us, I don't know whether that one will really be of any benefit to us. Where a protected animal or game animal is killed in immediate defense of human life, the person killing the animal shall make a report of the fact at the earliest practical moment to an officer of the service. We are supposed to kill and make a report, but when we are killed, I don't know who makes a report, because they should also make a report immediately geared towards compensating us. So I think because it is becoming a real menace in so many areas, it is the high time we pursued this statement and get the responses and if need be, also engage the other relevant authorities and make sure that our people are safe. If not so, we mobilize our people and protect ourselves. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. I was expecting Honorable Ndwiki to comment on this area because there's a lot of menace taking place around Mulolongo. There's a hyena that is moving around. It is there, and it has also attacked several people. That is true, and it is not something that happened a long time ago. It's something that is happening right now. So I was expecting a response from Mheshimiwa Ndwiki. Yeah, but having ventilated over this matter, it clearly comes out that that we are affected, all of us, and we request the committee on devolution and intergovernmental relations to look at this matter deeply, and even other areas that have not been mentioned here, because it is an area that is affecting everyone. And therefore, we submit this particular matter to the Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations Committee to look into the matter and report on or before 15th August 2023. Thank you, members. Next order.
Order number 8. The Machakos County Spatial Planning Bill 2023, Kenya Gazette Supplement number 5, Machakos County Bills number 3.
May I invite Honorable Daniel Ndwiki? Sorry, I'm sorry about that. May I request the clerk to read the first reading of that bill.
A bill of an act of the County Assembly of Machakos to provide for county spatial planning and management and for connected purposes.
That particular bill is committed to the Lands and Energy Committee, chaired by Honorable Daniel Ndwiki. Thank you. Next order.
Order number 9. The Machakos County Fire and Rescue Services Bill 2023, Kenya Gazette Supplement number 6, Machakos County Bills number 4. First reading.
May I request the clerk to read the first reading?
A bill of an act of the County Assembly of Machakos to provide for fire and rescue services, to provide for the establishment of the Fire and Rescue Department and for connected purposes.
Thank you. This bill is committed to Health and Emergency Services Committee, chaired by Honorable Raphael Lakinzao. Vincent, what? There's a mistake here. I'm sorry, Honorable Vincent. I'm corrected, members. May I correct that that particular bill has been committed to Health and Emergency Services Committee, chaired by Honorable Vincent Motie. Thank you. Next order.
Order number 10. Special motion. Consideration of nominee for appointment as County Executive Committee member for Gender, Youth, Sports, and Social Welfare.
May I invite Honorable Stephen Mwandi, the Vice Chairperson Committee on Appointments, to come forward and move that motion.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. No, I was calling the Sergeant at Arms to come and sanitize the mic again for me.
He has forgotten again.
But
Sergeant Atam,
I'll proceed because
for clearance of doubts, let's have it sanitized. Thank you.
yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker, that aware that Article 179 Sabbatical 2B of the Constitution is read with Section 30, subsection 2D of the County Governments Act provides that the governor shall appoint the county executive committee members with approval of the assembly from among persons who are not members of the county assembly. Aware that Standing Order 184 Sub-Order 4 of the County Assembly of Machakos Standing Orders provides that the Committee on Appointments shall consider for approval by the Assembly appointments of members of County Executive Committee. Aware that the Governor forwarded a nominee for approval for appointment as the County Executive Committee member for Gender, Youth, Sports and Social Welfare after the previous holder of the office resigned. Honorable Speaker, I wish to move the motion that, taking into consideration the findings of the Committee on Appointments in its fourth report on the vetting of nominee for approval as County Executive Committee member laid on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 25th July 2023, and pursuant to Article 179, Sabbatical 2B of the Constitution, Section that, subsection 2D of the County Governments Act, Sections 4 and 9 of the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approval Act 2017, and Standing Order 184 Sub-Order 4. This House approves the appointment of Mr. John Mwangangi Kilonzo as County Executive Committee member for the Department of Gender, Youth, Sports and Social Welfare. And so I call upon Honorable Brian Kisila to second.
Thank you. Thank you, DS. Honorable Brian Kisila, please.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. My name is Honorable Brian Kisila, representing the people of Mwala and a member of this committee. I stand here, Madam Speaker, to second.
Thank you very much. I now propose the question that, taking into consideration the findings of the Committee on Appointment in its fourth report on the vetting of nominee for approval as County Executive Committee member, laid on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 25th July 2023, and pursuant to Article 179, Sabbatical 2B of the Constitution, Section 32D of the County Government Act, Sections 4 and 9 of the Public Appointments Act 2017, and Standing Order number 184-4, this House approves the appointment of Mr. John Mwangangi Kilonzo as County Executive Committee member for the Department of Gender, Youth, Sports and Social Welfare. I now wish to invite members to debate this matter, but before I do that, may I call the mover to come and make some highlights on the report.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Ndawa.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm raising on Standing Order number 27 on extension of time. That aware that Standing Order number 27 provides that the Speaker shall interrupt business at 12:30 p.m. for the morning sitting. Aware that Standing Order number 27 Sub-Order 3 provides that the House may resolve to extend its sitting time. Aware that Standing Order number 27 Sub-Order 4 requires a motion to extend sitting time to be moved at least 30 minutes before the time appointed of adjournment. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move a motion that this House resolve to extend its sitting time until the business in the order paper is concluded. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I call upon Honorable Dominic Ndambuki to second my motion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I second the motion.
Thank you. I now propose the question that this House resolves to extend its sitting time until the business of the day is concluded. I now put the question that this House resolves to extend its sitting time until the business of the day is concluded. As many are of the opinion, say ayes. As many are of the contrary opinion, say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you. Proceed, Honorable Diaz.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will read some highlights. I believe members have got the copies of the report, so that we may go fast. So I start with the forward, page 3. Pursuant to Article 179, Subarticle 2B of the Constitution and sections that subsection 2D of the County Governments Act, the Governor of Machakos County, Her Excellency Honorable Wavinya Ndeti nominated John Mwangangi Kilonzo for appointment as County Executive Committee member for Gender, Youth, Sports and Social Welfare. Notification of the nomination was conveyed to the Speaker of the County Assembly through a letter reference number GMC/OOG/105/23 dated 27th June 2023. On Wednesday, 12th July 2023, the Speaker of the County Assembly pursuant to standing orders that 9 sub-order 1 read the message from Her Excellency the Governor of Machakos County communicating the name of the nominee. Further, pursuant to section 7, subsection 1 and standing order 184 sub-order 4, the name of the nominee was committed to the Committee on Appointments for approval, hearings and reporting to the House within 14 days. Consequently, and in accordance with Article 196 sub-article 1 of the Constitution, section 7, subsection 5 and 10 of the Public Appointments County Assembly's Approval Act 2017 and Standing Order 42, Sub-Order 5 and 6, the Clerk of County Assembly placed an advertisement in the print media on Thursday, 13th July 2023, inviting the public to attend the approval hearing and all submit any information or comments on suitability or otherwise by way of sworn-in affidavits for appointment of the nominee. By close of the submission deadline on 19th July 2023, the committee did not receive any memoranda touching on the suitability or otherwise of the nominee for appointment. In the same advertisement, the Clerk of the County Assembly notified the public that the Committee on Appointments would conduct the approval hearing on Thursday, 20th July 2023. The nominee appeared before the committee as scheduled on Thursday, 20th July 2023 for approval hearing in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution, Public Appointments County Assembly's Approval Act 2017, and the County Assembly of Machakos Standing Orders. Pursuant to Section 7, subsection 8 and 9, and Section 8 of the Public Appointments County Assembly's Approval Act 2017, the committee observed that the nominee John Mwangangi Kilonzo met the requirements of Chapter 6 of the Constitution, demonstrated knowledge and experience on the portfolio to which he had been nominated, and the requisite academic qualifications, training and professional experience, and scored an average marks of 94.4%, which is above the pass mark of 60% set by the committee to be approved for appointment as County Executive Committee member for Gender, Youth, Sports and Social Welfare in accordance with Article 179, Subarticle 2B of the Constitution and Section 30, subsection 2D of the County Governments Act. Having conducted the approval hearing for the nominee pursuant to Article 179, Subarticle 2B of the Constitution and Section 30, subsection 2D of the County Governments Act, sections 4 and 9 of the Public Appointments County Assembly's Approval Act 2017 and Standing Order 184, Sub-Order 4, the committee recommends that the House approves the nomination of John Mwangangi Kilonzo for appointment as County Executive Committee member for Gender, Youth, Sports and Social Welfare by Her Excellency the Governor of Machakos County. The committee is grateful to the offices of the Speaker and that of the Clerk of the County Assembly for the support accorded during the execution of this task. The committee is also thankful to the civil society and members of public for following the proceedings at the Assembly Public Gallery and other media platforms. I wish to express my appreciation to the honorable members of the committee who sacrificed their time to participate in this exercise. On behalf of the committee on appointments and pursuant to section 14 subsection 3b of the County Governments Act, section 9 subsection 1 of the County Public Appointments County Assemblies Approval Act 2017 and Standing Order 179 suborder 6, it is now my duty and privilege to present to the House the fourth report of the Committee on Appointment on the approval hearing of the nominee for appointment to the position of County Executive Committee member for Gender, Youth, Sports and Social Welfare. Madam Speaker, that's the executive summary for the report. Members, on page 12, you will find the approval hearings that were conducted by the committee. On page 13, sorry, on page 15, it's where the committee and its observations. And Madam Speaker, with you allow me, I can read the observations and the recommendations of the committee.
Proceed and read the observations.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Committee observations on the suitability of the nominee. The committee, having considered the nominees filed a questionnaire pursuant to section 7 subsection 9 of the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approval Act 2017, his curriculum vitae, and having had oral submissions during the approval hearing, observed that the nominee is a Kenyan citizen, has the requisite education and training, possesses relevant knowledge and experience, and satisfies requirements of Chapter 6 of the Constitution, and the nominee attained an average marks of 94.4%. Based on the above, the nominee was assessed and awarded marks as per the table below. Madam Speaker, the table is there, and the marks that were awarded by the assessors. Committee recommendations. Having conducted the approval hearings of the nominee pursuant to Article 179, Subarticle 2B of the Constitution, Section 30, Subsection 2D of the County Governments Act, Sections 4 and 9 of the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approval Act 2017, and Standing Order 184, Suborder 4, the committee recommends that the House approves the nomination of Mr. John Mwangangi Kilonzo for appointment as County Executive Committee member for Gender, Youth, Sports and Social Welfare by Her Excellency the Governor of Machakos County. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, DS, for that report. And now I invite members to debate on this matter. Honorable Dominic Ndambuki, then after which Honorable D. Kevuva. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My name is Honorable Dominic Ndambuki, and I rise to support this report. Madam Speaker, first of all, I want to thank the Committee on Appointments for the well-elaborated report. Honorable Speaker, going by the findings and presentations of this committee before the House, it's clear that the nominee meets the threshold requirements and passes the suitability test to hold the office of the CEC member for Gender, Youth, Sports and Social Welfare. Honorable Speaker, my plea would be to the nominee, once he assumes office, that the majority of the population of Machakos County are those in the age bracket of between 18 and 35, who qualify to be called youth, and therefore it is incumbent upon him to come up with policies on how to address the plight of the majority of the population in Machakos County, so that, Madam Speaker, we engage them positively to ensure that they do not engage themselves in things that might endanger their future lives. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I support.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable D. Kevuva.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm D. Kivuva, representing the great people of marginalized. I want to thank the appointment committee for the work, good work
in about our nominee for sports, who is my good friend, the Honorable John Kilonzo. We share the same hairstyle. In fact, I copied from him. And I know he's equal to the task. I can tell you for free. The only place I'm differing with the committee is the marks awarded. They awarded low marks of 94. I thought he would have scored more than 98. He is equal to the task. We campaigned with him for our governor, and I think he was the only person I could remember who had not been rewarded. And I know he will be equal to the task and will perform optimally. Thank you, I support.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Ndawa.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My name is Judas Ndawa, representing the great people of Matu. Again, Honorable Speaker, I want to air my views on the report before the House. I happen to be a member of this committee, the appointment committee, and I will start by applauding the committee for doing an excellent job. Honorable Speaker, we considered all the items that were set for us to look. And starting with work experience, Honorable Speaker, if you look at the report, that candidate only missed 1 mark. It was supposed to be 25, and he managed to get 24 out of 25. Education, Honorable Speaker, he missed 1.5 marks. He got 23.5. About interest and knowledge relating to specific position, he only missed 0.7 marks. The other item was 10 marks, he got 9.5. Presentations and neatness, he got 9.6, and the marks were 10. So in total, Honorable Speaker, because every member can be able to see for him or for herself, I tend to wonder why my brother Honorable D, who is now exiting the chamber, why he's not satisfied with the marks that were awarded by the committee. Honorable Speaker, this committee does not rubber stamp. We give marks depending on how one performs. So, Honorable Speaker, I want to say here that the gentleman is well qualified, competent, and I'm very sure we will see value for his service. Honorable Speaker, as I support this motion or this report, I want to give notice to the other CCM. The appointment committee has got no business now. If any other member want to resign, let him or her go ahead and resign. There will be no lacuna in this county government. There will be no lacuna in this county government of Machakos. Just go ahead, resign. The governor will bring another name. We will sit as a committee and we will approve that nominee. One time, Honorable Speaker, a former president of this republic gave an advice, and he said, the offices we are holding today will host other Kenyans while we watch. So we should not start particularizing items. My office, my desk, my computer. That office will host another person while you watch. So this is now a notice we are giving the CCM and other officers holding these offices, including ourselves. Let us do our work with what we call zeal and due diligence, so that when we are not in that office, comparison can be done. The person who is there present and the person who left, who is doing better or who did better. So, honorable members, I want to thank you for supporting the committee. The report is self-explanatory. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Katiti.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I'm a member of Mudheni Ward. I want to thank the Committee of Appointment for what they did, for the exemplary work they did. And I'm taking this opportunity to thank them because as a vice chair of youth, of gender, youth, sports, and social welfare, we were so much suspicious of what will be happening because of the exit of the former CCM of sports. So we are so much delighted for what has happened. Thank you for replacing Honorable Mutisia Sky with this new guy who I can see he has a wide knowledge and requisite knowledge, because I can see he has traveled world over, and I know he'll come up with good policies that will make our youth in our county, that will make the laws and policies that are good for our youth in our county. So thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable Helen Detty.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Unfortunately, I was not here when we were going through the report, but I am sure we have a very capable appointments committee. I'm sure they have done a good job. I happen to know Mr. Kilonzo for many years, and I know he's a very competent person. So as a county, I think we are blessed to have such a resource in our county. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mbuva.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also wish to add my voice as I support the approval of the nominee. Madam Speaker, I know the Appointments Committee to be composed of very competent members who would ably represent this House in cross-checking and also awarding the nominee marks for suitability. Madam Speaker, I would want, while the mover will be responding or making his final remarks, at least to confirm if they asked 2 questions. It would be very important. Maybe they tell us if they asked this person whether they have the capacity to withstand heat, because people are coming to these appointments with a lot of expectations. Maybe we would want the mover, while making the final